Hi guys, my name is Lelasophia. I am an artist and fine jewelry designer. If you like contemporary fine jewelry, if you like luxury handbags, all things interiors, then I have some fun videos for you. You guys, okay, most of you know this, but there are so many new people here, which I'm so grateful for. So not to sound like a broken record, but you guys know that I just moved into my new home, which I know people move all the time, I realize, but I was in my previous apartment for 11 plus years in Soho, New York. We're still in New York, but you know, not in all the craziness. I'm so excited to kind of just share with you a little freeform today. First of all, the inspo that I had for the pieces that I currently have in my apartment, but then also like all the work that I'm planning on hopefully doing with you guys. I'm hoping to bring you guys along the way. There's a lot of stuff that needs to kind of be fixed, maybe revamped, maybe even renovated. And so I'm so excited to share all the inspo with you. First and foremost, if you guys are new here, thank you so much for tuning in. I can't wait to see you in all of my future videos. Make sure that you like this video, subscribe to my channel, follow me on Instagram at lelasophia jewelry. I put out videos every Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. And so I cannot wait to see you guys in the next one. Okay, so I've only shown a little bit of my home, and again, I keep saying there is a reason. Essentially, long story short, there was a lot of stuff that kind of should have gotten fixed before I moved in, and honestly, I should have done it right before I moved in, but I was so eager to get in here that I really just, you know, I wanted to be here. And then also, honestly, the best advice my stepdad gave me was live in your home. Figure it out, and then you'll see the vibe, because trust me, I already had paint swatches. I was ready to paint. I was ready to paint the brick behind me, and actually that's been the best advice. Like kind of really living here for the last 2.5 months has been such a nice kind of break from my very crazy Virgo mind. However, as soon as the walls, which are getting fixed hopefully in the next couple weeks, as soon as those get fixed in my living room, that's kind of the first project that I want to do, essentially painting the entire living room. But here's where I need all of your help, and also just sounding board. I'm excited to hear what everybody thinks. So the living room that I'm in right now, obviously there's brick behind me, which is so incredible. And I really get, like, in person, the people that I've asked, I get a pretty split opinion. So many people are like, no, don't touch the brick. But I just always have known that if I ever were to have a very classic New York brick wall in my apartment, that I'd probably paint it white. And so I'm gonna go a mid-ground, and I think I really want to paint the brick to start, actually, which I know seems like a bold move, but it kind of has to be sealed anyway. It gets very dusty. I didn't really realize that. Literally, I just had a white shirt on earlier, and I accidentally put it against the brick. I didn't realize that it stains. I did not realize that, so it'd be kind of nice to like get a coat of something on there. But I also just like, it stretches the entirety from my living room all the way to the end of my kitchen of one, like, essentially part of my entire home. And I just can't pick a paint color for the inside of my living room, so maybe me painting the brick first will help dictate that. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Again, my dear friend, thank you for telling me. Like, there's a couple different versions of like what I could do, and I think I'm gonna go with, I was debating between a Venetian plaster again, which again, thank you to my dear friend, you know who you are, who kind of told me about the differences between Venetian plaster and lime wash. But I think what I'm gonna do is, I don't remember what it's called exactly, but like a Classico lime wash, I think, maybe, I don't know how I just pulled that out of my brain. A Classico lime wash where it's not like a blanket white paint, and it's not even really like a brick. It's not supposed to cover the brick. Lime wash is so nice, apparently, because it lets the brick breathe, which is very important. Who knew? I don't know anything about architecture or building, so you guys who are experts on that, correct me. Apparently that's best for the longevity. I, again, have no idea. So I'm thinking of doing like halfway, of doing like a very sparing coat of maybe white or cream lime, more so cream lime wash that's not gonna cover the brick, but give it like a really cool vibe. There are, like, honestly, I maybe do like full white covered like painted brick, but we can work up to it this way. And I think I might actually love it. Anytime, like literally I was at a restaurant last night and I was like, look, the walls behind me, this is kind of what I want. So that's where I think I'm gonna start. I know kind of a bold move, but I'd love to hear your thoughts, or if anybody has any experience painting brick, that's kind of what I think will be the base, like the foundation of then what I wanna do with my living room. And like overall vibe-wise, which we'll get to, the most kind of polarizing part, which is my bedroom, because it really could lean either way. So let's start with the middle ground. My entire living room, obviously, if you guys have seen my home tour in Soho, I would watch that because it kind of, you'll see the vibe. Like clearly, wabi sabi is my whole kind of thing. I love it so much. I always joke that I have like 3 different design languages, and if I could, God willing, you know, one day have a couple different houses to experiment with or places of residence to experiment with. I love bringing in warmth, and as soon as I found, this sounds so stupid, but as soon as I experimented with the color brown, I'm so lucky to have the opportunity to design the store that I owned in Soho. Also, same thing. Yes, I lived where I worked, you know, same area for a couple of years, but I designed that store. It was a men's fine jewelry store, and me and my mom and one of my mom's friends who's an amazing interior designer kind of all helped, but I really I wanted to lead it in a more masculine way. Again, everything with air quotes. And so we brought in so many tones of brown and like gorgeous, yummy, buttery brown leather pieces. There still is a bench that I'll probably use one day, but I don't have enough space for it quite yet, that I love. And my brother has a chair that we use. Like there are so many different things. My pillows literally are from the store. We truly used so many different shades of brown, but in a more, like that was like a true modernist way, maybe even postmodernist, where everything was white and then with really cool kind of shades of brown and then very abstract art. That was a really, like I'm so blessed to have had that opportunity to experiment because A, it made me fall in love with interiors like head over heels, and then getting like real live feedback from people who came into the store for the first time who really loved it. I was like so honored and touched and shocked. But then I also was like, I can make my own home beautiful. And so I for sure fell in love with kind of modernism and then brutalism through that. But then I found Axel Vervoort, and let's just say I was hooked. Then I found, you know, he is a magician. Like I truly think he's one of the most brilliant humans, and I call him an artist. I know he hates being called an interior designer. There's art collector, there's gallerist, there's just like, I just think amazing human being. I think he is one of the most brilliant minds. And again, which I feel grateful for, he has 2 like very polarizing, very famous projects. One is his home, aka a castle, and the other is kind of like an art gallery / apartment complex, I think, from what I understand about it, called Canal. And those are so polarizing. There's like very traditional elements brought into his home, his place of residence, or I believe, at least I think is his place of residence. And then in the art gallery, there's so much, there's brutalism and there's almost like anarchaic minimalism, and it's just so stunning. And his son, Boris Vervoort, yes, I've gone deep into this world, actually had like Boris Vervoort and his partner, I think, have like some of the most incredible taste I've ever seen. Like it's obviously, you know, again, the son of a brilliant man. There you go. Studying all 3 of those human beings, I feel like gave me so much inspiration, and I was like, I found my thing. I found my thing. And studying even more than kind of my own culture, kind of realizing what I like, what I don't like, and why I'm drawn to the things that I like. I really love very rich, earthy tones. And then I went home to see my father in Morocco, and he was like, yeah, that's like countryside homes where we come from look exactly like how you've painted your walls in your apartment. And I was like, okay, so this is awesome. There's a lot of kind of like really beautiful Moroccan details, and not what you think of Moroccan, like archways and beautiful, elaborate, very symmetrical art, but very countryside, amazigh. You know, they make this incredible kind of putty mix for their walls and their homes, and that feels so weirdly like biologically ingrained in me that I love the look of that. And I've also looked at a lot of like, I do deep dives of like property tours or house tours or properties for sale that are in Morocco. And so a lot of that has also come into my own design language. And so I really like honed in, I'd say a mix between Moroccan art, like traditional, almost ancient Moroccan interiors, and then Axel Vervoort style into my first home. But this one is a little bit different because I have more space, obviously, but I also have like 3 distinctive kind of sections. I have my living room, which can really almost be walled off essentially, like it really is separate. And then I have the interesting thing, I have like 2 foyers essentially. I have the entrances, I have both an upstairs and a downstairs. And so I have the entrances of both of those places, and that could almost be kind of one through design. And then I have my bedroom, which feels very separate. The bedroom feels it just feels different for some reason than anything else in the house. Probably also why I'm the most confused as to what to do with it, because there's so many more options. So again, go back. For what I was saying before I went off on that long tangent, my living room is clearly gonna be very wabi-sabi just because of the furniture that I pretty much, all of my furniture except for like literally one chair that's in front of me was from my previous apartment. I didn't, I can't afford to just do like an entire major, new revamp and get all new furniture. And I'm also not quite at the place yet, which one day I hope to be, and I've talked about, I hope to be here where I'm investing in like vintage furniture, because that is a whole other budget. That's a 6-figure budget. And so, one day that would be amazing, but that day is not right now. So we're keeping out my furniture, obviously. The question, which I think I know the answer to, but the question is really, once I kind of very lightly lime wash the brick, like a very pretty subtle shade of white or beige, then I have 3 other walls in my living room. And so the kind of the 2 choices are, I think I've narrowed it down to 2 choices. The 2 choices are that I could either essentially lime wash the entire living room, the 3 walls that are left, in like a very similar shade to kind of tie it all together. Or I can do what I did in my previous apartment, was like essentially a faux lime wash with actual paint, but then literally a wash, like added water. And I did a lime wash brush technique, which sounds really artsy and stupid, but it actually was so fun and meditative. That could be my other option. So that I feel like I know what I'm gonna do. Like I'm gonna do some form of a wash. I just don't know whether to do like a really pretty darker brown, make this room like genuinely super, super moody, or do something that's like much more subtle. Lime wash looks very, very subtle when done correctly. And so it could be kind of like very, Instagram worthy, kind of typical lime wash, but then with the brick kind of opposing it. That's my living room. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. And then honestly, we're not even gonna tackle, like I think that I have to make my entryways the last decision, because I just feel like I could go so many different ways, and it sounds silly because it's all probably like just different shades of brown or beige, but I don't know, it could totally change up the vibe. And obviously because they're my entryways, they have 0 light at all. So I could either hone it, like really, lean into the darkness and make it like den-like. There's one interior project that I'm obsessed with. That could be super dope as a vibe for like the entryways. And then that would mean like paint the entire staircase. I'm definitely gonna paint the stairs because the staircase is in kind of terrible shape. So that would be really cool. But then the love that I haven't talked about yet, because we just have so many videos to come, and I feel like I'm not that much of an expert on it yet. I really don't have the best language, but all of a sudden, like probably 2 years ago, I then completely fell in love with British countryside interiors, like house and garden. I know a bunch of us have connected on that. Like house and garden UK, are you kidding me? I so quickly click on every single new video that they post, and I've probably at least the last like 20, 30, maybe even 50 videos, I probably watched each and every one like 10, 20 times. I'm obsessed. There's also there's a few other interior video kind of tour accounts that I love. My bedroom, because of the amazing, which have mostly been passed down to me, my amazing china collection or china and ceramic collection, could lean very British countryside. And that's how I christened my home. I got myself my first pair of Staffordshire dogs. That could obviously be so British countryside. And so I could paint my whole bedroom like pale baby yellow or butter yellow. Just saying, that could be really cool. Or I could make it even cozier, even more den-like, and do like a very similar, almost beige, or even maybe more bold of a brown wash in my bedroom. And it would still lean British countryside simply because of the decor that I have. And also I have a painting from my aunt after she passed away. I love the painting that I have in my room. That's very, even though that's a little bit more French, like there's a lot of crossover between French country and British country. And so that could be pretty bold. But regardless, like because of the pieces that I've started collecting, especially my bag cabinet that you guys have seen, it could go so British countryside. But the question is, do I do like, you know, butter yellow and have it be like a really, really like classical, almost in, think Gilmore Girls, think the dragonfly in, think that for the bedroom, or we could do like moody walls, almost ancient UK. I also just feel like I'm going to like continue collecting more and more and more ceramic pieces. There's a set of food dogs that I want. There's more Staffordshire that I want. So we're gonna see and just like kind of continue from here. I am dying to hear your thoughts because this is just the beginning, obviously, and I'm definitely gonna be working you guys along every step of the way with me. And I'm just so grateful for all of your support. Like yeah, I won't get gushy here, but I'm just really incredibly grateful. And I'm so happy that so many of you guys want these interior videos, so they're gonna keep coming. As always, you guys are so amazing, and I can't wait to see you in my next one. Bye guys.